Okay, what if I told you that your entire life, on average, could be summed up in a single number? It's a number that's so much smaller than you think, and it might just change everything about how you see your time. Let's get into it. 4,000. That's it. Just let that number sink in for a second. It's not some crazy astronomical figure. It's tangible. You can almost feel it. And it's incredibly important. But what in the world does it mean?
4,000 weeks. That's what we get, if we're lucky. When you put it like that, it suddenly stops being an abstract idea, right? It's not this endless horizon of someday. It's a very specific number of chances, a countable number of weekends and workdays.
And that brings up a huge question. If our time is so finite, so precious, why are so many of us obsessed with trying to optimize every single second, to hack our way to efficiency, instead of just living?
Well, this brings us to something called the productivity trap. It's this belief that if we just find the right system, the right app, we can finally get on top of everything. It's this totally futile, modern quest to clear the decks and get it all done.
Does any of this hit a little too close to home? I mean, that feeling of being on a hamster wheel? You're constantly clearing out your email, chasing that mythical inbox zero. Your to-do list feels like a monster that just grows another head every time you chop one off. You're busy, you're exhausted, but you have this nagging feeling that you're not actually getting anywhere important, that real life is happening somewhere else.
And here's the lie at the heart of it all. The myth is that you can master your time, that you can get it all done. But the reality, it's a game that is rigged from the start. The more emails you answer, the more you get. The more efficient you become, the more tasks people give you. The game is, by its very design, completely unwinnable.
You know, when you dig a little deeper, you realize this isn't really about time management at all. All these frantic attempts to control our schedules are really just a symptom. They're a way for us to deny a fundamental and maybe kind of scary truth about being human.
But here's the good news. Facing that truth, it isn't depressing. Actually, it's the opposite. It is completely liberating. Because the moment you stop fighting your own limits is the moment you can actually start working with them. And that, right there, is where real freedom begins.
So, forget about the fancy planners and the complicated apps for a minute. A problem was never your technique. It was never about your system. The real issue is our entire relationship with time. We see it as this thing outside of us, something to be conquered. But the truth is, you don't have time. You are time.
There's a fantastic word for this whole idea: finitude.
All it means is accepting that you have limits, that you are a finite being. Your time, your energy, your focus, none of it is infinite. And you know what? Acknowledging that isn't giving up. It's the first step to actually getting smart about how you live.
And this is the great paradox. Real freedom, it doesn't come from getting total control over your life. It comes from the incredible relief of accepting that you'll never have it. The second you accept you can't do everything is the second you are finally free to choose what actually matters.
Okay, so what does this look like in the real world? How do we actually live this way? It means shifting our focus. We move away from trying to optimize everything, and we move toward living with intention. This is the beautiful outcome of embracing your limits. Because if you can't do it all, then you have to choose. That limitation becomes your greatest strength. It's the ultimate filter that forces you to ask the most important question there is. Out of all the things I could do, what is truly worth my time? So let's get practical. It boils down to 3 big mindset shifts. First, you practice what's called strategic neglect. You actively, deliberately choose what you're not going to do. Second, you prioritize the meaningful. Instead of 1,000 shallow things, you go deep on a few crucial projects or relationships. And third, you learn to embrace good enough. You let go of that crippling perfectionism on things that just don't need. And in your day-to-day life, this means saying no to perfectly good opportunities so you can say yes to the truly great ones. It means choosing that one big, scary project over 5 easy little ones. It means setting boundaries. It means having a hobby just because you love it, not because you need to turn it into a side hustle. And maybe most importantly, it means seeing rest not as a sign of weakness, but as an absolute priority.
Which brings us right back to the beginning, doesn't it? It all comes back to that one number, 4,000, and the final powerful question it forces every single one of us to face.
So if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. This is not another productivity system. It is the exact opposite. This is a permission slip.
It's a permission slip to stop trying to do everything. Permission to be human. Permission to be finite. Permission to finally stop running.
So, I'll leave you with this. There's no right answer here. It's different for everyone. But now that you know the score, now that you've got that number in your head, what are you going to do with the weeks you have left?